Okay, I think we're live. Let's see. A little late, but I made it. That's commitment. Okay. All right. It would have been great if I got here exactly at 4, but just a minute late. But I'm here. I am here, and wearing my special shirt, Global Youth Initiative. So what is the Global Youth Initiative? You may have seen my post, posted like 30 minutes ago. I meant to post it earlier, but things happen, and I just remembered at the last minute, like, oh, I meant to post it. So better late than never, and this is to do things. So leadership, different lessons. Some of the lessons we teach are having a good positive image, having positive character, failing forward, and stopping bullying. And we also have a reading series where we read to our younger leaders, but anybody really can learn from these lessons. So one of the books that we read from is this book by John Maxwell. Hopefully it's not reversed. I hope you can see it. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. And this is the kids version, because Global Youth is for ages 8 to 18. Like I said, any age, anybody, because I have done some sessions where parents came up to me and said, I learned something from your session today, even though it's for the younger people. But so anybody can learn from these different lessons that we have. So today I'm just going to be reading. I'm going to be reading from this book. This has different books. Is John Maxwell. Okay, well, first of all, because I shouldn't assume that everybody knows who John Maxwell is. John Maxwell is a leadership expert based in the United States. He's been teaching leadership for over 40 years, and he has written over, I want to say over 100 books at this point. He's a very prolific leadership and communications author, best-selling author. And I happen to be one of his certified team members, which means that I can speak from his materials, because he's been teaching for so long. So he has allowed us to use some of his materials as tools to help enhance leadership and communication skills for leaders of all ages. Let's just say from all ages, all backgrounds, and even our team. When you see our team, we are from, I think it's over 150 countries at this point. There are about 60,000 members across the world, so it's a big team. And I happen to be live here in Bahrain, so bringing you this wonderful reading from Bahrain, talking about sometimes you win, sometimes you learn, for kids. So you could be a big kid, it's okay, even though it's for younger readers, but anybody really can learn from this. So I'll be reading and interacting with you as best as I can, because this is a live. I usually do my live, so I just thought, as part of the Global Youth Initiative, why don't I read instead as part of my Global Youth Initiative, part of what I do. My activity this month. So like I said, it started in 2017. We're close to 2 million youth that have been reached, and it happens every April and October. So after this, I will have my next one in October. So watch out for that. It may not be a live, it may be an in-person, because I do both in-person. Last year it was just me and my son. In October of last year it was just myself and my son. He's a teenager. I've done with my older son's friends. We had a leadership game where we played and they asked each other questions. I've had some young people come over and we did the game again, and it was just eye-opening. I think after the session, one picked up the phone and said, I got to go talk to my mother and tell her how much I love and appreciate all she's done for me. And so we just have different ways in which to reach our young people, to show them that they bustling place where kids play together in open space. They romp and they race and they jump and they spin. For Wuggles, like most kids, really love to win. Meet brother and sister Wendy and Wade. They have finally reached Wuggle ball age. Wade is the short one. I'll show you. Can you see? It's the short one. He's funny and loud. Wendy is the tall and stands out in a crowd. So you have Wade, the short one. He's funny and loud. Wendy is tall and stands out in a crowd. So here is Wendy and Wade. There we go. They both want to win. So to Papa they go. He's old and he's wise, and he'll certainly know. Let's ask him. Let's visit. They both start to say. They jump on their scooters and zoom on their way. Papa, please tell us the secret to winning. He hugs them both tight and says while he's grinning, all's well that begins well. That's my Papa voice. Keep hope in your heart. Think positive thoughts. That's how all winners start. And let's see, this is Grandpa. You see Grandpa? That's Grandpa over there. Very wise. I can see he's very wise. Wuggle ball looks simple when you first and the ice cream, and that does the trick. Wade and Wendy feel better. Their moods over quick. Papa gives them a hug. He's no longer stern. Get rest, and tomorrow we'll take time to learn. Too often we're angry when things don't go right. Let go of your loss. Yesterday ended last night. The first step to take in a winning direction is to work on yourself with an attitude correction. I like that. Attitude correction. Wuggles are winners. Yes, that much is true. But whether you win depends upon you. Winning takes effort. This much you'll see. What you learn from your loss can bring victory. Wade turns to Wendy and they start to smile. Their attitudes have already changed by a mile. Wade says, be positive. That's what we'll do. But what else, Papa? Will you give the next clue? Just take it inch by inch, and then yard by yard. If you win in small steps, it's not quite as hard. In the very next game, they run fast and play strong. Wade dodges and jumps, yells, "Wendy, go long!" The Woggle Town team tries with all their might. But in the end, it's the same. They lose the fight. Yeah, they lost the fight. After the game, the kids are tired but proud. And they smile as they walk, high-fiving the crowd. Wendy and Wade say to Papa together, "We didn't win, but at least we got better." When things don't go well and a loss comes your way, the question to ask is, did I learn today? Always do your best, then stretch to get better. Go further, be a go-getter. So when things are harder than at first they may seem, it's improvement that matters most to a team. Woggles are winners, yes, that much is true. But whether you win depends upon you. Winning takes effort, this much you'll see. What you learn from your loss can bring victory. The kids want to improve, so they work extra hard. They're shooting, they're passing, they're learning to guard. Practice is tiring, but as Papa would say, winning takes work. It's uphill all the way. Quitting's for quitters, and they never win. A loss is a loss till you make it a win. And this is them practicing their winning. Yes. Well, game day is here. The whole team is ready. The opponents are good, but the Woggles hold steady. It's a close match, and the kids never quit. Wade reminds Wendy, try to win bit by bit. The kids hustle and bustle and then take the lead. The Woggles are smaller, but surely they have speed. 1 second is left. Then a cheer from the crowd. Wendy and Wade see their papa is proud. We all like to win. Yes, that much is true. But whether you win depends on you. Take this lesson to heart and say with a grin, sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. So, that's the end of the story. What did you learn? Sometimes you learn and sometimes you win. Or sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. So here are 2 questions of Wade and Wendy to teach about thinking. What did you love most about this story? Share with me. And what did you learn? What was your greatest learning from this? For me, winning takes effort. And you may not win at the first time. But if you keep going, eventually you will win. Like they did. They had 3 times that they went into the game. The first time it really hit them because that was the first time. And they were so dejected. The second time they didn't win, but they had a good attitude about it because they learned these are things we need to do. So by the 3rd time, they were ready to go. And guess what? They won. So, like I said, this is not just for the little ones, but for even adults. We can learn because sometimes we come across challenges and those challenges can be tough. It may seem that the best thing to do is to quit, but hopefully you've seen that. There's a lesson to be learned even when we don't actually win, because that in itself is a win when we learn a lesson from whatever action we take. So when next you face a challenge and it seems like you're not winning, don't quit. Just remember, sometimes you'll win and sometimes you learn. So when that game day comes, just say, sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. What have I learned from this particular lesson that I can take away and apply? And even if I'm not facing the same challenge, maybe next time I can do something that would help me to win. But if I have the positive attitude that every time is a win, no matter what the results are, that by itself is a win. So remember that. Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. And thanks for joining. That was a fun read. I'll just read about John Maxwell again. John C. Maxwell is a grandpa. He's also #1 New York Times bestselling author, coach, and speaker who has sold more than 25 million books. As a boy, John loved basketball. Today, he loves teaching leadership and was identified by Inc. magazine in 2014 as the most popular leadership expert in the world. Wow. His organizations, the John Maxwell Company, the John Maxwell Team, and Equip have trained more than 5 million leaders in 180 countries. So this is John. I am so proud to be part of his team. I'm excited to bring this to you as part of our Global Youth Initiative. And my name is Tosin Arawejolu. I'm a leadership development coach, and I help leaders improve their leadership skills so that they have confidence to talk about their vision, to engage their team, and their team becomes collaborative and stay. Because one thing we know is teams live not because of the project necessarily, but because of the leader sometimes. So if you're a leader that is leading well, you will have a team that is highly productive. That's my time for today. This is probably one of my longest ones. So when something happens, just think, question to ask is, what did I learn today? And what's the most impact that would have on me and on my family and even maybe the world? It's a great perspective to have. And with that, I thank you for joining. I'll see you tomorrow. This was my life for today. That was fun. I enjoyed it. Thanks for making this